The GROW model. First of all, it's the GROW model. It begins with T because it starts with a topic, because the coach knows about the GROW model, but the client doesn't. The client just comes in with something on their mind. So the GROW model starts with a topic, with just something vague that, not vague, but a thing that the client brings. The goal for this session. Every single time I'm observing people early on in their training, they don't get the goal. They think they've got it because the client said, and they think, phew, and off they go. Wrong. So if you think you've got a goal, so I want to prepare for a really important presentation next Thursday, that is not a goal. You need to go back and just say, okay, what specifically do you want to have with regard to that presentation next Thursday? And the question that I use most often is, what do you want to have when you walk out that door that you don't have now? Because that signals to the client, we don't have a magic wand. We can't just go ping and change things in the outside world. But what we can do is clear something up in your head. So once you've got a goal for this session, a G, check it. So either the coach can run it by the client and say, is this right? Of course. And that's probably best when you're the first time you're coaching them, because they don't know about all this process stuff. But once they're used to it, it's better to get them to recap on the goal. Because quite often you'll find you say, okay, so if you said it, that you would say, okay, so there's the goal A. And if you get them to recap, they'll think and they'll say, so it's actually B. No, it's C. So clear goal. Then the reality. What is the point of reality? The point here is to get the key pieces out on the table. Now, the client has lived for 20, 30, 40 years, 50, 60, 70. You can't ever know all of what's in their head. And this is not consultancy. And so a key question I use for this, I'm quite tough on the R. I make the client work hard. And I'll say, okay, tell me what are the key facts we need to get out on the table here. And they'll think and they'll bring out. Now, it's not that easy. Usually they don't even know. And once you get talking into it, then you realize some other things come up. Fine. The options. You've got two tasks here. The first is to broaden and the second is to deepen. So in options, people will say, oh, there's nothing I can do, or there's only one thing I can do. And so if there's nothing I can do, then of course what we're trying to do is to spray on some, what do you call it in this country, WD-40, to sort of free them up. I do use the question, if you had a magic wand, what would you do? I've used that question even with very, very senior executives. If you had a magic wand, they get it. You might like to put it in a more business-friendly way. But then, or people will say there's really only one option, or I've only got two choices. And so your job as a coach is to get them thinking a bit more freely so that we can bring a range of options into their decision set. And then once they've really thought about it and tested it and so on, then there is a task to check it and deepen it. Okay, so if you do go this path, what are the upsides, what are the downsides, what are the benefits, what are the risks? We're testing it out here. This is a safe place for them to test it. And then the W, alongside the G, is the other part that doesn't happen in the conversation in the pub. If people pour out something that's really bothering them, we might ask them what the situation is. We might ask them what they could do. But we very seldom ask them, okay, sunshine, what are you going to do? So there's two meanings of W. Will, in the sense of what will you do, the action sense, but also W, what is your will about this or your motivation? Sir John Whitmore's question, on a scale of 1 to 10. I know, it's corny. It works. You know, if you say to people on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to doing this? And they say 8 or above, they probably, my experience over 20 years, 25, oh wow, 25 years, is they probably will do it. And these are bright people. And so if you ask that question and they say to you 7 or 6, they laugh, they know. So we both realise we've got to go back around the circle. And of course, it's not a simple T, G, R, O, W. Sometimes you've got to go back and forth.